just being blunt, it makes absolutely no sense to be bearish on the US dollar down here. Yes, we could get a break lower, but as long as the market is holding above this area on the high time frames, you've got to be really careful getting bearish down here. And I said that last week during FOMC. And sure enough, if you look at the daily time frame, this big green candle that bounced right there from this area was the FOMC candle. Okay. That was the FOMC bounce that we got right here from this area. We saw the market come down here, take out those poor lows in the 96.60 area, and then bounce aggressively from here. Now, one thing that I mentioned in the weekly forecast, it was that it depended on where this market closed around 97.70 into the weekly close. So looking at the weekly time frame, what I said in the last video was that where last week closed in relation to 97.7 was going to be key for this week. This was going to determine whether or not we saw the pound rotate higher this week, or if we would see a rotation lower first. Now, keep in mind a couple things here. First of all, the DXY did close below 97.7 last week. Notice it did not get above 97.7 last week. So that kept this intact as resistance so far this week. No surprise to see the US dollar rotating lower. Secondly, we have this very long lower wick. Okay, this very long lower wick following that FOMC week. So this right here, guys, is an imbalance that we're seeing the DXY now fill in, right? It's taken out this low back here. We're seeing it partially fill in that long lower wick. And so now the question is, how far lower do we go before we get a potential bounce? And I'm saying a potential bounce because, again, you've got to keep in mind, monthly time frame, guys, this is a 14-year level, right? So in my opinion, we are probably going to see some kind of bounce here. Even if this doesn't become the macro bottom for the DXY, the fact is that this is a very long running level. And so the idea of a bounce from this area is pretty likely, in my opinion, because we talked about this before as well. But let's look at the monthly time frame and take a look at the current price action and compare this to the last time the market came off of support, right? It's very similar. It's very similar in the sense that we got that first low, we had the market test that low again, and the same thing over here. We had the first low and the market just tested that first low again. Okay, so right now, guys, range market until proven otherwise. Essentially, if you look at this here on the daily time frame, if you were to remove just all of these levels right now, so if you took off all of these levels and just look at it like this, this is a range bound market.